Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kemisinuola. Today we are going to be sewing this beautiful one-piece kimono jumpsuit. On our last tutorial, I showed you how to pattern draft and how to cut this beautiful kimono jumpsuit. Today we are going to be sewing this. You can see the pockets, the button, the neckline, and also the pleats. If tutorials like this are what you would like to see, kindly click the subscribe button below and put on your notification bell. On our last tutorial, I showed us how to pattern draft and also how to cut. Today we are going to be sewing this. I added half 1 inches all around the side of the pattern and the sleeve and half inches at the center front. If you'd like to see a video on how to pattern draft this, kindly click the info card at the top of this video. This is the front pattern. And here we are going to be making the back pattern. The only difference between the back and the front pattern is the crotch extension that we have at the back. The crotch extension here is 3 inches. The initial crotch extension is 2.5 inches, but I'm adding half inch for joining. So you place your measuring tape at the crotch line to extend it by 3 inches, 2.5 and half inch for joining, making 3 inches. Just watch what I'm doing. The next thing is to measure down half inch from that 3 inches. And then you curve from your hip line, the way we did for the front pattern. You curve from your hip line down to the 3 inches, not the first 3 inches but the slanted 3 inches. Then you curve from that part into the leg of your jumpsuit. That's the only difference from the back and the front pattern. Also the neckline. Then you go ahead to cut this, adding your 1 inch and half inch respectively. After cutting the back pattern, this is our back pattern. The next thing to do is to add the pleat. So I'm going to be measuring from the shoulder at the neckline. I can't measure from the other parts because those parts are slanted. Remember, our shoulder is slanted. So I'm going to be putting my measuring tape at the neckline at the shoulder part. Then measuring down our under bust. Our under bust is 13.5 plus half inch that we added at the shoulder is 14 inches. So you measure down 14 inches. Then you take your ruler to rule a straight line horizontally. So now the next thing is to place your measuring tape at that 14 inches and measure 8 inches. The pleat is going to be 8 inches long. You take your pattern ruler again to rule that horizontally. After doing this, the next thing to do now is from the center back, you measure 3 inches. It's 2.5 inches plus half inch for the joining. That's why we are having 3 inches here. You mark on the 14 inches and also on the 8 inches and take your pattern ruler to rule vertically. Watch closely what I'm doing. The pleat here is the beauty of this jumpsuit. So from that 3 inches, we are going to measure 2 inches from the 3 inches, not from the center back, but from the 3 inches, 2 inches. Now you rule that down also vertically. Now we have our first pleat. Remember, we added 6 inches for 3 pleats, making 2 inches per pleat. Now we have our first pleat. The next thing to do now is to measure 1 inch, not 2 inches, 1 inch. 1 inch from that 2 inches, and you are going to rule that down also. Now from that 1 inch, you are going to measure in again 2 inches. 2 inches from the 1 inch, not from the 2 inches. Now we have our second pleat. What are our next measurements going to be? If you say 1 inch, then you got it right. If you say 2 inches, you're on the wrong side. Our next measurement now from this 2 inches is going to be 1 inch. This is like the difference between the pleats. You take your pattern ruler again, also rule down vertically. Now we have 2 pleats. To get the last pleat, we are going to be measuring again 2 inches. 2 inches. This is our third and last pleat. We are also going to be doing this for the front. It's same thing, same measurement, same procedure. Now we have our third pleat. 1, 2, 3. Taking my office pin to pin that down so I can chalk the same place at the back, at the other side of the material. Also doing the same thing for the front. 2 inches, 1 inch, 2 inches, 1 inch. Pinning also to chalk the same place at the other side. 1, 2, 3. So now this is after joining the 2 inches pleats. This is how it should look like with 8 inches length. You can see joining 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Your pleat should look like this. The next step on our jumpsuit now will be to join the center front of the back and also of the front. This is our back pattern. I'm going to be joining with 1/2 inch from the neckline all the way through to the crotch depth. So 1/2 inch, the 1/2 inch we added while we were cutting, placing our pattern paper on the fabric. That 1/2 inch is what we are going to use to join the back together. 1/2 inch. And for the front, I'll take my measuring tape to measure down 20 inches. 20 inches. This will be standing as a center front opening. There's no zipper. We have button here. 20 inches. Then using 1/2 inch to join the remaining part all the way to the crotch depth. 1/2 inches. So after joining the center front and the center back together, this is what I have at the back. You can see the joining. Make sure it is half inches. Also for the front, you can see the opening and also the joining from the 20 inches that we measured from the neckline. I also went ahead to widen the neckline of the back for the jumpsuit. I don't want it to be choking, so I used the same measurement as of the front and as for the back too. I used 3 inches width, 3 inches depth for the front. I also used the same thing for the back, 3 inches by 3 inches. You can leave yours like that, but I just want my own neckline to be like this. The next thing is to place the back on the front, right sides facing each other, so as to join our shoulder. Now I'll be taking this to the sewing machine, using half inch to join the shoulders together, the front and the back shoulders together, half inch. So after joining the shoulders together, this is how it should look like. We are almost done with our jumpsuit. This is how it should look like. The next thing to do now will be to join our inseam together. This is the inner part of your trouser or jumpsuit. I'll be opening the seam at the crotch depth for the back and for the front and making them face each other, making them align, the front and the back crotch. Watch closely what I am doing. The inner part of the leg, the inner part of the jumpsuit, the leg, you make the crotch together, joining them together. Also the rest of the inseam, using your office pin to join them together. Now I'll be taking it to the sewing machine, using half inch to join. After joining, your pants should be looking like this. The next step now is to pattern our pocket. Our pocket is going to be having 7 inches width and 10 inches length. You mark 7 inches across and then with the length of 10 inches. That's how long we want the pocket opening to be. Ten inches length, and then you are going to shapen it. I'm using my free hand. It's going to look like a teardrop. You can see the shape. To cut on our fabric, we are going to be having half inch all around pattern. To cut 2 each when placing on our fabric for the left and right side of our jumpsuit. This is the pocket. Now I'll be joining this behind off camera. So after joining your pocket, make sure the leg of your pleat is aligned with the head of your pocket. The beginning of your pocket and the end of your pleat should be on the same line. You can see what I am showing you. When you want to join your pocket, make sure the end of your pleat and the beginning of the pocket head is aligned. You can see that is how your pocket should look like. I've also gone ahead to fold the hem of our jumpsuit using 1 inch that we added when we were pattern drafting. Now the next thing to do on this jumpsuit is to add collar and also the bottom part. I'm going to be measuring the neckline of our jumpsuit. Also remember the opening for the jumpsuit is 20 inches at the center front. So I've gone ahead to cut the strap. This is 3 inches width with the length of the neckline that we measured the other time. I'm going to go to the sewing machine to curve the edge of this. If you notice, our neckline edge is curvy, not sharp. So this is after sewing the edge of the neckline strap. Make sure to add interfacing on all the 3 straps you are going to be cutting for the left, right side of the jumpsuit and also for the neckline. So this is our collar, our little collar. These straps are 3 inches wide because our collars are 1 inch on both sides and ½ inch on both sides for joining, making it 1. So that's 3 inches altogether. So I'm trying to notch the center. Now to add, the first thing to do is to first add for the opening at the center front. So I'm going to be joining this inside out. Remember, the straps are 3 inches wide. I'll be using ½ inch to join inside out. I added about 1 inch, 1½ inches on this strap. I didn't cut 20 inches exactly because we are going to be, this is like a placket. So I added 1 inch, 1½ inch to the straps. This is after joining the straps to the center front. Remember, you're joining inside out. This is the right side. So now I'll be folding by ½ inch again and then placing on it to sew right down. Just watch what I'm doing. You fold with ½ inches, then you fold it on the joining that we had the other time. Watch what I'm doing. Wrong side, right side. You fold your placket, your strap with ½ inch, then you place on that joining. This is like you're using it to cover up the joining, that the ½ inch joining that we have. You see how it is. Then you sew all the way down. You do the same thing for the other side. Fold ½ inch, use it to cover up the joining, and you should be having approximately 1 inch here. So this is after joining together. I also top stitched the edge. I top stitched the edge. You can see what we're having after joining all the way down. I also went ahead to finish up my placket off screen. So one of these days I'm going to be having a tutorial on how to make your placket. So this is how our placket is looking. I made the one that was going to overlay. I cut the one that is going to be underneath shorter than the one that will overlay, and then I folded it and sewed like a box on it to form our placket. And this is how it is looking. So the next thing to do on our jumpsuit will be to add our collar to the neckline. You see the curve that I made. I sewed it with 1 inch, curving it so our collar can have a curve at the edge. So this is how it is looking. So now I'm going to add it to it. Make sure the edge of your collar and the edge of the placket is properly aligned. So we are going to be using half inch to join this. Inside out also, make sure you are joining inside out. Your collar should be inside out because our top stitch is going to be happening at the outer part of our jumpsuit. So make sure you are joining inside out your collar, and after joining you fold again to top stitch. So now I've gone ahead to sew the collar. You can see the top stitch. I top stitch at the bottom and also at the top of the collar. You can see our collar is looking, see the edge also with the curve. So now this is our jumpsuit. We are almost done. I'm going to be having button opening and also adding my button behind the scene. But this is how our placket and our collar is looking. If you followed everything from the start to finish, your jumpsuit should be looking like this also. We are almost done. The next thing to do now is to fold the hem of my sleeve using 1 inch that was added when we were cutting the jumpsuit. And that's all for this tutorial. You can see how beautiful our jumpsuit is looking. Kindly join me on my next tutorial. I really can't wait to see you guys, and thank you for staying with me this long. Bye.